Hello. I tried to see. Ooh, it's loud. I tried to see if it would work to knock on GQ's stream. Because that's a thing. It's the guest tower thing. Oh yeah, I made a guard tower. Had a little extra time. Twitch added the whole like collaboration tools where you can appear on each other's streams. And so I pushed the button to just see what happens when you do it. And there's no way, there's absolutely no way that he will see the alert. The curse. The Family Feud curse. No, they've got like a built-in, like, look at this. Look at this. They've basically got like a web browser built-in Discord call interface going on. He did see it, that's funny. There's no way he could set that up on the fly. I've seen him setting up OBS stuff. I just did it as a funny bit, a goof and a gaff. Going to end stream together. I'm disconnecting all guests from my stream. End stream together. All right. I'm not asking to co-stream. So, guys, been out of town. It vanished too fast. That's funny. I have no idea what it would do. So I believe what you have to do is you actually have to set up a browser source to a special Twitch URL, and then that basically lets you get their face cam on your stream and their audio and all that. Which sounds like it could be useful. No, it doesn't do full split screen. You control, each person controls where the guest appears in the layout. So it would almost be the same as like capturing a Discord call and cropping it and putting it wherever I want on my layout. Really the thing that it has over doing that in Discord is that you get shared Twitch chat. I could actually see some really fun applications of that. Someday. Not for a while. Yeah, that looks fine. I worked on this for a little bit after dinner. It's good enough for me. Tonight's plan is actually shop code. We got the basics of the shop purchase zone set up. Why is it all the way over there? Why is it so offset? This should be 0. That's also weird. This should be 0. And then in here, yeah. In here, we can actually set the zone of the shop purchase zone to wherever we want. There we go. Amazing. Perfect. Okay. So shop purchase zone has an area of effect. And we have this activate function. That's going to be what happens when you press the button. But we also want to have something that happens when you are in front of it. So we need to be ready for that as well. So let's see, what do we do here? We're gonna need, let's see here. Let's get some, there we go. Some nice Civilization music. We'll have something here. Let's just have a is player in zone, and we'll track when you leave and when you exit. I feel like there should be some, so this is per item. So maybe this is not actually what we want. No, instead we want our global UI, I think, to manage this. Perhaps. Where's our global UI code for that? Let's take a look at it. Menus. Global UI. So it's this right here. So yeah, I think what we want to do is just edit a thing on the global UI and tell it, hey, I'm currently looking at this shop item. Please show the appropriate information. So let's start with, when I am in front of this item, what's our screen space look like? Like in 2D space. Okay, so it would be reasonable to have it pop up in the top right quadrant because the player is pretty low down in this zone. So if we can maintain that, then that would work quite nicely to have a nice top right. So everything above the 50% line is fair game here. Would we want the price to appear above the items, maybe? That would make sense, right? How would we do that? We can totally do that, of course, but how do we do that? All right. Above the sprite, we put in a, it's a label 3D, isn't it? And we have to give it text. We have to give it font size and everything, which we will do. We have to position it where do we want. Just make it nice and big. Eventually, we're going to make a custom font for this game. As it stands, this is very eh. Do we want to billboard this? Can we? Is there an easy billboarding system for this? Flags, billboard, enable billboard. Now, what is billboarding, you might ask, if you're not familiar with it? Well, the idea is that it always faces the camera. It resizes appropriately, but it's always rotating to perfectly face the camera. And for numbers, that's fine. I don't want it for the items because we can get that cool flatness that's fun in these games. For the numbers, I think it makes sense. Price text right there. So let's see here. Price text is a label 3D, and it equals price text on ready. What do you not like here? Wait, what do you not like? Oh, var. Okay. When we ready up, the text equals the string value of the item's price, which is default cost. We're not going to deal with different shops having different prices yet. For now, let's just maintain a price value here. Let's just absolute default 5. Price is going to be the item's default cost. And now we can just cast that to a string. So price, we're going to use that later when we actually do the purchasing. We're going to use this price variable. And this lets us insert later on. We can add in some functionality that says, oh, but this shop gets a discount on this item, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that should create the prices over the items. This is the wrong scene. We want scene zone D. Open it up. Yeah, see, there you go. We could go bigger on that if we wanted. I kind of do want to. So let's change that from a 48 to, let's just go nice 60. Okay. Now then, let's deal with the next piece, which is the actual dialogue that's going to pop up when you are looking at an item. We have a lovely dialogue box theme. Let's make an item info theme maybe would be good. Maybe. Style box flat theme. All right, let's just start with add a new node, 2D, and call it shop shop overlay. And to that, we are going to add a specific node for item info. This is going to contain panel label. How do we do these stat overlay items? What are these made of? What are these stat overlays made of? They are made of a panel with text. Okay. Then yeah, let's just do a panel. All right, so for that, we can just add a panel. And wow, look at that, there it is, panel. We can give it a theme. So I'm thinking, oops, is it this? Is that what we do? What do we do on this? There we go, that's the one. That's the guy right there. And within that, we can add things like a margin container and all this other stuff that I hate dealing with. I feel like there's a better way to do it, and I just don't know what it is yet. For now, let's just get label in here. Well, no, why do you have the same thing? What the heck is this? Okay, cool. We don't need a panel. We can get by with just the label. Sure. Oh, nope, we can't. Alright, then I don't know what the deal is here. That's weird, right? That's weird, I think. That's not what I'm used to, is all. That's all I'm saying. Let me grab the item info box and just copy Oh, see, well, that's... never mind. Eventually we'll throw this into its own scene, by the way, to keep things a little bit more organized. I mean, we could just have this as a separate label when it comes down to it. All right. Label. We're going to have text here for the name of it. Item name. Oh yeah, we got to put it after that. That's going to be too small, isn't it? All right, that looks fine. And then we need the item description. Which, sure, why not? Let's just give it... We're just going to use overrides for now because I really can't be bothered to set this up the proper way just yet. We'll do it someday, I promise. Okay. Item name. Item description. Okay, there we go. So yeah, UI container, that's our UI global code there. So what we can do is have a set set by item. And what that will do is it will say shop overlay item name dot text equals what is it, item dot name. What do we do here? This is item dot name and then item dot description. That makes total sense. Okay. Let's look. How much space is between these items? Is it possible to touch two at once? I don't think so. We should be okay there. Let's hope that never comes up. Let's have an animation for when this pops in. How about that? I think that would be cool and neat of us to do that. All right, let's call it shop item info. And we will address the position. See, this is an interesting thing here. Oops. There we go. That's above the 50% line, yeah. And we might zoom in on this text quite a bit after we get it all settled in. All right, so we've got... We're going to have it normally out here. We're going to have a rotation for it. And I think that's all we could do a little bit of funny stuff with scale, but I think we're just going to leave it like that. Okay, so this animation is going to be cubic. And what it's going to do is it's going to really quickly zip in such a way that it's like coming in fast, coming in hot. And then back to normal. No, a little bit of overshoot. It might bake that in automatically. Maybe not. So let's cram this nice and snug here. Okay. That's a little bit too fast, maybe. But it's fine. It works. Shop item info is the name of that. So when we set an item, shop item info. If item is null, then that's us getting rid of the that's us getting rid of it. So we're gonna do play backwards to retract it. Else set these. All right, I think that should be it. So when you enter the area, set the buy item to the corresponding item. And when you exit, set it to null. Let's see if this works. This might work first try. Prepare yourself. Whoop. Okay, that's close. You know what? That kind of works. Part of me kind of wants to say, make one of these animations for... Yeah, honestly, you know, I'm thinking, yeah. Take this whole thing and set it as this. Okay. Get rid of it from here entirely. Take all this, get it out of here, and put it in here instead. And that's now instead of shop overlay item info. It's now shop overlay. Oh no, it's perfect. It's still the same. So instead of UI global, it's just that. Let's see if this works that way. So this might let us have two of these pop up at once, but realistically, this should mean that they kind of overlap when they're coming in and out. Yeah, that's much better, honestly. Okay, I think the rotation is a little bit too hard right now. And also, of course, there's the long text that's an issue. So this rotation here that we go to -10, let's change that to -4. And then item description. We just need like a max length here. Auto wrap. Yeah. There we go. Done. Possibly. Incredible. All right, that's good. All right. So we need to know if you can buy it when you act. When you press the button, we need to know if you can buy it. There's a few reasons you wouldn't be able to buy it. One, not enough money. Two, not enough inventory space. We'll deal with item inventory space later. For now, we just need a little text dialogue that appears. We don't have a way of making text dialogue appear anywhere except the top right now. How would we want to do that? I mean, we don't have to do it right now, but what we do need to do right now is actually make it so that... Oh, all right. So the big thing I've been putting off for a long time is choices. Specifically, like dialogue choices. So dialogue box, here we come. Yeah. So, dialogue box. All right, stem needs to be controllable in some way. Like if there is no actor, then stem doesn't need to be visible. So let's mess with this a bit. Animation. Boy, there's a lot to this. All right. So we look to see like where are we pointing to. And it's always to actor. And we can't assume that the actor exists. So down here, if actor, then you can do all this stuff. If there's not an actor, then no. Don't show the stem. And this, stem source coordinates, stem distance, target scale. Okay, that's just for setting the scale and stuff, so we can still have this. Okay. That should work then, right? Pointing coordinate. Ah, okay. So this one is also based on all this other stuff. This is fine. This can be in here. I think. I think that should be fine. Do we have an NPC we can talk to easily? Room F. I hope. Yeah. Okay, good. That works fine. Okay. So when you purchase something, we can just put up a little dialogue like, do you want to purchase X for Y amount? And then then we should get a confirmation panel that says yes or no. This is something we've never done before. It's a dialogue box, but it's different. It's different somehow. How do we do this? How do we do this? All right, so what we have then is a rich text label. No, maybe? No, not really. Kind of. I think we can get by with just a regular text label. Hey, Al. We're giving the player a voice, a chance to say something. That's a big deal. All right, so tonight's goal is shopping. Oh gosh, I left that up. Don't worry about it. So we've got icons over here, and when you hover over, a little panel comes up with the name of the item and a description with a cool little slide in animation. And now we need to make it so that when you press A on it, or jump, that it will prompt you, hey, do you want to purchase item for X amount? And then there should be a little yes, no that happens. And that's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a little weird. So let's see. There's so much to this to unpack. First of all, dialogue box positioning. Dialogue box positioning is one thing. Normal position is 800, 160. How do we make this pop up? How does this pop up exactly? Should I just have like a where do you go kind of thing? Set position happens. Appearance coordinate. Oh, right. It appears and then it moves towards the target position here. Okay, so that's figured out. There's our target position. So what we need then is a target position top, which is that, and target position bottom, which is like there. 744. Let's just say 740. Al's the winner. He did it. And that's where it goes to normally. When you open a dialogue box, show dialogue is what happens. How do we get show dialogue? What is actually prompting show dialogue? What do we got? We've got the base conversation system. Makes sense. Which just says show dialogue. We could add an optional parameter in show dialogue. Of like show top or show bottom, or you could have to set it yourself. I don't think this is something I want to be configured in the text itself. So let's just say, for now, is at top by default is true. Target position equals that, else target position bottom. Oh, we're not leaving that running. There we go. All right, so that should allow us to, in a dialogue system, tell it we want it to be at the bottom for whatever reason. That also screws up the target position of the yes, no. But we'll get that straightened out in a bit. Okay. So we need a new text label. I think we need a new text label? Or should it be a rich text label? Let's duplicate this. And call it choices. And then let's move it around and stuff and do weird stuff with it. See, we can already do like this with rich text label, which is nice. And we won't have the icon up if you are doing one of these. So that's nice, I guess. And then we need a little icon, right? We need a little up-down icon. Is there a spacing? Displayed theme overrides, line separation? Yeah, okay, that gives us a little extra space between yes and no, which is handy. Okay, and we do want it to be able to say something more complex like, yes, 20 coins. So it's got to have room for an option there. So something along those lines. I'm sure we can control the width of this at a later date. We'll probably have the cursor coming in from the left side. Okay, choices. What is its position? 330, 100, 350. 350 sounds good. Okay. Choices position top. It's 350, 100. And if our decision making is happening at the bottom of the screen for some reason, then 740. Then this guy will be positioned at 740. Oh, that's not right, is it? Dang. Okay, we're just gonna have to eyeball it. 400. Sure. We'll situate it in a bit. Let's see here. Does dialog box itself slide in, or how does this animation work? Okay, so the dialog box itself scales up or down. That's good, because that means that this little guy will also do the same. We will say that choices dot position equals choices position top if is at top, else choices position bottom. There we go. So that'll position it properly. But the next thing is there may not be any choices. Usually, like 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20, you're not going to have any choices that pop up when it's time to make a decision on something. Usually it's this conversation stuff that's going to get you. So let's actually go over to room F and look at our conversation script. So we can do a few things with this. Show a dialogue box, or move the camera and then show a dialogue box, or move players around to, get into the right spot. All kinds of fun stuff. Animate characters in between lines of text, whatever we want to do. So we need a way to say in our conversation tree that not only do we want to show a dialogue box, but we want to provide a set of choices, a yes or a, and do something different based on the answer, which that's got its own fun bits of, I guess that's kind of like an additional conversation that it points you to. Actually, that's probably the way to do it. Is, all right, hold on. Okay, so a conversation. Let's get into it here. Let's get into it. A conversation typically is, you say a little bit of dialogue, and then a little bit of dialogue, and then a little bit of dialogue. So it could be they've got a line that they say, then they say a second line, press continue, they say a third line of text, and then the conversation is over. And that's all well and good. That is a conversation object right there. That is a conversation object. That is something like this right here, where one step of the conversation might be pull the camera in really close. Step 2, say this dialogue. Step 3, have the camera pull back out to normal, and then end. That's one conversation. So what we want is that we can have conversations start like, NPC says something, partner replies to something, NPC says something, and then decision. You have to choose yes or no. Let's clean this up and just start with NPC says something. You have to pick yes or no. And then the result of that, we're not going to define like, oh, and then the result of that is the next bit of text. No. The result of the two different branches will instead themselves be conversation branches. Basically, it can contain another set of things, which in turn could nest and even go back to start. Like, it could be that this whole thing, like if you say no and then you say yes, it could be that that points you to itself, and that's valid. That's valid. Like one of those hey, is there anything else you want to ask about? And then it loops you back to the start of the conversation where you've got the however many choices. Like that's the way we want to build this. Okay, that's very doable. That's a good way to do this. That's very flexible. How do we do it? All right, how do we do it? UI dialogue. Normally, show dialogue just triggers show dialogue in the dialogue box code. And then it's basically, what is it? On dialogue done. is where we say that the conversation step is now no longer active. But done timer doesn't start counting until you have pressed the button. You've advanced the text. You've completed advancing the text. Close dialogue. Okay, close dialogue, and then that's what triggers the conversation being done. Okay, we gotta be careful with this. Let's pull some of these pieces of code out of here because I'm not ready to use those yet. Okay. Dialogue. Conversation queue. That's it. It's just start conversation. And this is just get conversation, and then it pulls that over into start conversation. Okay. So this is a conversation right here. Dialogue zone. Activate says, yeah, start conversation by actor code. It says grab the conversation object and then start that conversation queue. Which in turn says do the next step, wait until it's done, until the conversation step is no longer active, which is handled by this on dialogue done, which is handled by close the dialogue. Okay. Oh yeah, and gosh, every one of these steps can in turn, I forgot about this, can be multiple lines of dialogue, like multiple pages of dialogue. Like, say something, press A, say something, press A, say something. That's 3 pages. This whole step thing, that's when the dialogue box closes, and then it can open another one that might be pointing to either the same NPC or a different NPC, either way. All right. I'm getting it. I'm seeing how we can wedge our way into this. So we can still say show dialogue is at top. I don't know if that's where this should live. I see. So dialog box is basically a single object. There's not going to be multiple dialog box objects. I feel like this is at top. Set is dialogue at top, and then we'll take in a Boolean, use top bool, and that will set a new is at top. And now we'll just set it as part of conversation logic. We're not gonna use this parameter. Instead, this is going to be a list of choices. Optional parameter, which is a list of choices, which by default is empty. Okay, so choices needs to be no, it's a dictionary. It's a dictionary wherein each option. Okay, so here's a sample choices object is going to look like this. Yes, colon, and then conversation. no, and then conversation. That's what choices will look like. And then we'll do something different if there's more than two. Like we'll have to have a special panel that can accept several. But by default... Wait, can we... What's the code for Godot dictionary iterate? Let's see. What is the process for that? I'm sure we've done it before. For key in dictionary.keys. Okay. All right. Choice options equals. Anyway, let's instead of calling this choices, let's call this choice dictionary. Dot keys. If choice options dot keys, no, choice options dot size equals 2, then we have a valid choice thing going on. I wonder if we should enable... Oh gosh, should we enable this? We should. This needs to be something that is itself a dictionary. Oh, it's getting hairy. So conversation, and then you also want to have enabled false or something like that. Basically the case where you could kind of have a grayed out option, I think, is what we want to do there. We're gonna find out. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so that can be fine. So that doesn't need to have quotes. That can't have spaces then. Dang it. Okay, it does need to be an array. It'll be an array. Choice it. It is actually choices now. So instead, it'll have title or name as a property on it. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, I like that much better. If you have two choices, then what do? Then choices dot visible equals true. Otherwise, it doesn't. And then we need to actually do the silly stuff with choices, which is choices. Oh gosh, choices.text. Oh, this is gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird. All right. Choices label. We need to actually have a way to set that up properly. Update choices text. Choices label dot text equals something. And we're going to call this current choices. And it's an array of things that are complicated. And then we gotta have the selection index. So that we know which one we're pointing at right now. Ooh, it's getting interesting. All right, so what that's gonna be is for choice in choices label. We need to say add choice dot name followed by new line. How do I do is that how I do a new line in this? That's probably right. If choice dot if choice index equals, well, dang it. Getting overwhelmed. And it's not length, it's range. Okay. If they match, then use bold. This is a silly way of doing it for now, but we just need something in place temporarily. Okay, there we go. So that will update the choices text. I need to actually make this do something. Process. We need to do something different if there are choices attached to the text. Which is, what do we do? Oh, see, this is really weird. What would happen if you had a choices thing, but the last one in line, there was a choices one that wasn't the last one in line, would it just automatically discard the remaining ones? Or pick that up after all the conversations are done? Ooh, I guess it would just overwrite them. That's not a great system because it's easy to mess yourself up. Let's make sure we throw an alert if that is detected, if that ever happens. Hey, meme. We're working on adding tree branching paths to dialogues. Right now, dialogue boxes are working fine, but you're never given a choice of action in dialogue. You're never given a yes, no, or anything. So we're trying to add actual fun stuff for that. So we'll see how that goes. It's going okay, but I keep coming up with ideas of potential problems that we're going to run into. So we'll see how it works out. Let's get a let's get this frog. Let's have our frog Let's give him a new... Let's give him a new dialogue option. All right. Here comes a choice. And then it will give him a, choice. The guy's pants was wet. Did he perhaps spill something on himself then? Because that definitely could be a thing. Lest we jump to conclusions. So when we do show dialogue, we want to make sure that we can pass in choices. So show dialogue is coming in from UI Global. There we go. So we're now going to also accept choices. Well, I wonder how it got that way. Very strange. Show dialogue. Okay, this is good. So now, this conversation system, I can say show dialogue, and also here's a choice. Now choice, oh boy, here we go. Choice is gonna be along the lines of name equals yes. And name equals no. I don't know if I'd believe people like that. That seems like a weird thing to happen. All right. Okay, let's try it. I'm not expecting this to work. Okay, it crashes immediately. Range. Object to float. Where? Where? Choices. Why am I doing that to the label? That's not where I wanted at all. I wanted current choices, didn't I? All right, that was just me being completely wrong. Current choices, here we go. Only do this if current choices dot size is greater than 0, I suppose. All right, try it again. Nope. I got one from array to flow. Yep. You got me there. Need to put dot size. Hey, that's a start. That is a start. Ooh. I guess we could use this as the icon, huh? That would be interesting. Okay, that's something. That is something. All right, the position. Let's look at this. What is the position of this little guy here? Gear icon. Gear icon. The advancing icon. Makes sense. Okay. We just straight up set its position when we need to. Or it's set its visibility, but let's also set its position. That'll be the default. And we are going to say, set the advanced icon to visible. And also move its position based on the chosen index here. Now, how do we change that? I don't know. but we're gonna find out. So we would want to say like this. $161. We're not listening to this on loop for 30 minutes. There we go. That's reasonable. That's more reasonable. Okay, and then we can come down to 229. 229, huh? What's our difference there? 229 minus 161, 68. So we want to say add 68 times the choice index. All right, now we need to be able to actually deal with this mess. Okay, if we're advancing, then keep adding text. Complete advanced text. What does that mean? Oh, that can close the dialogue. Well, we don't want that. Oh yeah, we're not advancing to another... Okay, this is whether or not we're advancing to the next page. Right, that's what this is. Yeah, start advanced text is... Yeah, that's if you press the button, then you start advancing. So we're not currently switching pages. This is when we would normally be saying we've reached the end of a page and we're waiting for the player to make a decision. However, we're not going to do that. And this is also where we are ready for all this other stuff. Current remaining pause is less than 0. If rich text advance dot pro... Oh, okay. This is if it's an auto advance. Have we used that yet? Have I used that for anything yet? Oh yes, actually there is something. I just haven't showed it off on stream yet, but there is one text block that has to auto advance. Auto advance shouldn't come up here. So we're not too worried about that. Okay, so this whole processed thing is, yeah, if we are doing auto advance, or if you press the button while the icon is, while we are in this block. So this is the block of we have finished displaying all text. So we only want to do this block if current choices dot size equals 0. There are no choices to be made. So, on the flip side, if current choices dot size is greater than 0, then we want to do some different things. So let's do that. Let's block that out like this. Pass else. Okay, there we go. That's cleaner. Let's have a function handle choice nav. All right. If input action is just pressed up, then choice index minus equals 1. Else, if you press down, then increment which choice you're highlighting. Else, if you press the action button, then we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that. Actually, I guess we'll deal with that, and we'll also early return in this instance. Either way, if choice index is less than 0, then wrap around. Wait, there's some kind of mod. Oh gosh.
I keep coming back for more.
Day. Wow. It's for 6 months in advance. I don't think I've ever seen that message before. Day, thank you for 49 months in a row. Enjoy, I guess, the next 6 months. 49 months, that's almost a year. How do we do negative modulo? Snex sub, Posmod. That's the one I was looking for, Posmod. Do it by current choices.size. That should work. And then update choices text. All right. I think this will work to allow us to move up and down. You got the discount with the September thing. Hey, September. It worked. Expected. Oh. What? Oh, okay. Whoops. Oh no. Yep. Okay, there we go. Save. All right, stop. Save. Run. Oh, geez, I'm on the wrong scene. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I need to go back in here. Okay. I mean, it's putting an awful lot of pressure on me and Sunberry to actually keep streaming for 6 months. It works. I mean, it's not doing anything yet, but it does work. What the heck is going on here? Why is he missing part of his face? What has happened to this snail? What is this? That's a good point. It's true. All right. All right. Eventually, I want to expand this system a little bit because I want you to be able to mash the cancel button on your controller to automatically select some option. So I want to be able to flag which option is the cancel option and which one is the confirm option. But I don't want to hard code that in and say, first option is always yes, second option is always no, because that's not always the case. Okay, so when you say yes, and you've got a choice highlighted, we're going to take that choice, current choices, sub choice index, and, well, that's just a conversation item, isn't it? So in the same sense that UI Global will... Oh, geez. Start conversation normally appends to the conversation queue, or sets the conversation queue. So we will append that. This will work. This is actually going to work. UI global dot conversation queue dot append array choice dot conv. Assuming that we have that, but gosh, we better have that set up correctly. All right, and now what we can do is actually set up the conv. All right, so an example conv would be suit yourself, or so this will allow us to actually make this into a tree structure. All right, let's see if this works. I have no idea. You just have to cancel it. It's true. I hope that wouldn't happen abruptly. Yes. 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 Right. Okay. So we appended it, but we never ended the current one. To do that, we need to say basically the same thing that happens here. Start advanced text. So that would be this. Maybe. Oh man, guys, 10 days until the Factorio update. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're talking forever. Help! 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 Okay, just to confirm. What happens if I say no? It will probably also infinite loop. Huh. Didn't expect that. So that means we're hopping back into this over and over again. Oh. Ah, okay. I think I just put this in the wrong spot. So it'd be like this. Bow, 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 bow. All right, let's see him talk now. Not quite, not quite. So it's because this is still happening, I suppose, isn't it? Technically, it is still going on, so this is still coming up. So we need to remove current choices from this dialog box. Hey, all right. Is this snail still messed up? Oh, that's why he was cut off. It's because he's in the ground. Okay, okay. Now the next thing is I don't want this to appear right away. Consider... It shouldn't show up until he's reached the end of his dialogue. Yeah, see, that's a problem. So how do we do that? It shouldn't happen until handle choice nav appears. So we could hijack this here. Yeah, we could just have another animation. Choice pop. Which will be on choices dot scale. Thank you for the follow. Curious if the times Paper Mario. Yes, yes, that is the goal. Now whether or not we're gonna meet that goal someday is up in the air, but I'm certainly planning on being in it for the long haul. Paper Mario is one of my favorite games, and I think we can do it. I think we can actually do it. Okay. Choice pop. We're about 2.5 months in the project so far. We've got a fully working combat system. It's not feature complete in that I don't have every status effect programmed in. I don't have like many different enemies or action commands, but it's working. Including using items, getting into battles from the field, all that stuff. Original Luigi's Mansion. That's a solid choice. Honestly, I feel like I really enjoyed the mansion layout more for Luigi's Mansion 1. 3 almost won me over until I got past the first like 5 floors, and then it just kind of got a little zany. I really liked the sort of believability of the mansion layout in Luigi's Mansion 1. It was good. Let's see here. So I want the first time we get to this point. Let's see here. Help Panda with one of his class projects coming to choose your own. Ooh, fun. Yeah, I'll share what I know. That was 100% we need to stretch the game runtime a little bit. Like, the first time they did it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's kind of neat. I like it. And then they did the exact same thing again. I was like, wait a second. Hang on now. Come on. Do better than that, guys. When I saw the big mirror in the back of the elevator for the first time, I was like, oh, they're going to do something really interesting with that later, and it's going to be really spooky. And then they never did. That mirror in the elevator was purely so you would see where the buttons are. That's literally it. What am I doing here? Right, choices. Choices, yes. When we show dialogue, we're gonna do this. And then when we get to this point in the processing, if we haven't shown the choices yet, then we're going to show them and play the animation called Choices Pop. That was what we called it, right? Choice Pop. Ooh, close one. All right. Let me see those choices pop. Yeah. Or even something kind of spooky appearing in the mirror, like when the doors open or after they close. Dang it, it didn't do it. Great. Cool. Love it. Choices. This shouldn't happen until All right, we're doing that. We're doing a print statement. All right, let's see the output. It's not printing. Oh, because this is the default state. There it goes. Okay, fine. You got me. So that means we need to make sure we just set our reset state to this to 0 on the reset animation. Okay, now this is the one. Also, and another thing about Luigi's Mansion 3. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there. The advanced icon visibility should be hidden until we get to this point. Wait, it already is supposed to be hidden. Why was it already shown? It readies up to that. Oh, no? Why does advanced icon visibility ever get toggled? Wherever does it get toggled? Like, only right here for the auto advance. 3, I loved how much like attention they put into design and detail in Luigi's Mansion 3. It is one of the most gorgeous games on the Nintendo Switch, and that's not an exaggeration, which is weird. Why Luigi's Mansion? Why is that the best looking one? Like, why? I guess it's small, enclosed spaces, so they have a lot of control over camera angles. They can focus on optimization extremely well. But yeah, on the whole, as nice as it looks, I didn't really enjoy... I had some trouble suspending my disbelief for some of the floors. It was like, okay, we're not even going to bother to explain this lake on the whatever, on the 12th floor. But also the it was so close to like a Metroidvania style thing when they give you the power upgrade. It's like, oh, I can go back to earlier floors, and no, you can use it in like 3 places in the entire game, and that's it. Never again. It's like, why even make that a thing? Yeah, the pirate themed one. It was. I think it was a really cool one, but it's like, why is this? Why are we trying to say this is a hotel? Why can't Luigi just go on an adventure? Why does it have to be in a mansion? This is an amazing set piece. Why is there a movie studio in a hotel? I could almost believe, like, oh yeah, this is the Egyptian-themed floor of the hotel, but it's just a hotel, but it's like Egyptian-themed lodgings. But no, it's like, no, this is just where we keep our Egyptian pyramid in the hotel. All right, sure, why not? Why is this visible? Are we hitting this earlier than I thought? Set it to true, set it to false, set it to false, set it to false, set it to true. Let's do that. I guess so, which is, it's a shame, because they could do some really cool stuff. Oh, test 2 is getting hit really early. Update choices text. That's where it is. Okay. Got it. I see the problem. We only want to do this in certain cases. In fact, this would be just fine. Hey, King Boo. Hey, congrats. You know how Godot works. You did it. Yeah, All right. And then... Yeah, okay, and then it shows it. I kind of want to do a little timer on... Oh gosh, he's coming towards me. He's coming towards me. No! You're not supposed to be able to do that when I'm in the middle of a dialogue. How dare you? How dare you? No, 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 sir. No, no, no. That... We're not allowing that. How do we not allow that? Still learning it. There's a lot to it. It's got its fair share of warts, but every engine does. Okay, first of all, this advanced icon thing happening. I only want that to appear after this animation player finishes. So let's do a little I don't feel like bothering with callbacks and just do wait. VFX. Explain what you mean specifically by that. Like, I'm familiar with the acronym as in virtual effects, but I don't... This will be news to me. I've never thought of that as a specific thing. It would more of just a general description of any kind of just visual effect. Like, I've got some particle effect. Oh, yeah. There's a handful of things in the battles, like, on hit. There's going to be a lot more. I don't think there's going to be major explosions. If there are, it's going to be very cartoony. But yeah, right now, I got to get the bones in place. Found one to make them interesting. If I made things like an explosion, I think a lot of it would just be basically sprite 3Ds just rotating around. Because I think that would get the best effect for the style I'm going for. Rather than kind of the more realistic, like, puffs of smoke and clouds and such. It's like I would have puffs of smoke, but they will be hand-drawn swirls, probably thrown onto a particle effect generator. Okay, battles. Can't have that. Encounter zone is what starts the fight, right? Start battle, right here. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, exactly, since it's all kind of paper-based. Now, it's not as far on the deep end of paper-based as, say, the Thousand Year Door remake, where everything is visually, like, it's not just flat. It's like everything appears to be actual, like, paper craft. Like, you can see kind of the edges of the paper, like the thin papery edges and slight tears and everything. I'm not going that level. Mostly the paper aesthetic is a tool to communicate this is the type of game this is. This is an RPG featuring low damage numbers and some humor, kind of like how Bug Fables approached the paper aesthetic. So Bug Fables was also, it was very much styled in the look and feel of Paper Mario, probably more Paper Mario 64. But there is not one reference in the entire game that I ever remembered of anything being made of paper. There was never anything aesthetically, with some very slight exceptions, there was never anything aesthetically that was lamp shading or highlighting, hey look, things are made of paper, how wacky. It was merely an artistic choice to allude to Paper Mario 64 and say, this is the kind of game this is. If you like that game, you know what to expect. And it worked. It worked so well for them because they were basically communicating by the visual style what kind of game you were in for. So I'm going to be kind of in the middle ground on the zaniness factor. Bug Fables treated everything very seriously. Let's go. Let's do this one. Dun, dun. Mario RPG soundtrack. Remake. Okay, starting the battle should not happen if you are in dialogue from this setup here. So how do we manage that? What's something else that can't happen when you're in? Oh gosh, is it that late already? Wow. Oh no, we were supposed to set up buying things from shops tonight. Let's look for the is in dialogue. Yes. Oh. I see. Okay. Can't do it if you're in a dialogue. You can do it if you are on a spinner. And maybe you can even do it on input locked. I don't know. All right, we're going to say that should allow us something. Okay. All right, we got an important step in that now we can actually offer the player choices. And then you can do things. So that will be used now in scene D, where we have the start of the town. When you are at the shop and you go in to purchase a thing, that does need to be a lot bigger. Day, no. No, it's bedtime. You're gonna have to try again another time. But good try. No. Rejected. Unbelievable. The cheek. It's too late. Okay, so the idea is that when you press A, it will open a dialogue box. It still wouldn't have worked. I'm still going to bed. It'll open a dialogue box. It'll pop up a little panel that says, do you want to buy it? Yes or no? And then if you say yes, we'll deduct the money, we'll give you the item, and add it to your inventory, and that's it. And if you say no, it just closes the dialogue, and that's it. Item description. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I like how the icon for Cat's health is still this frog icon. So much money! We'll need to make some nice sound effects to go with that at some point. No, but it rhymes with powerful. That's the joke. All right. Who is on? Germdove is on. Perfect. Good, because I can't hang out. So it's got to be somebody that we know. gonna hang out in our little frog house. I need to figure out how to darken everything outside the house properly. There's not a great way I've found so far. I still have to look over, there's a ton of sites out there that provide free audio assets specifically for games with very clear licenses, which I appreciate. I need to actually look over them. We're still a long way off from sound. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So this works. We did it. We built this. This jumble of colorful shapes. We built that. That's good. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. Sunday's a big day. It's the end of OwlQuest, Season 1. So if you like Dungeons & Dragons, and you've either been following OwlQuest for the past 10 episodes, or you don't care coming in on the very last episode, make sure to check that out on Sunday's stream. We'll do a little bit more of this next week, and also some stuff for Games Done Badly coming up. And then Factorio on the 21st. Have a good night, everybody, and a good weekend. Bye.